Hello and welcome to Krabby's Changing Room Chat once again. This Friday night we're going to be showing the 2017 Scotland versus Wales game, and we're joined by Tim Visser, who played a huge part in the game. Viss, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Taking away strange times, but
same. It is very strange, but like you said, we're all getting through it all right.
Right. The first thing we'll do is we'll throw to John Manson, still over in Washington, because John's had a bit of a look into the game. Without giving too much away, John, just remind us what happened in that game.
It was a great game, Al. The biggest headline from that game was it was Scotland's first win against Wales in 10 years. So a long overdue win against the Welsh, which was a big one. Tim played a massive part in the game. There was a couple of tries. He was involved in both. First of all, Tommy scored in the corner after a great pass from Tim, and then he scored one of his own after a great pass from Hoggy. And also, just before Tim's try, he had a try saver in the corner, which he can maybe tell us about. However, before that, I always like to speak to people about our guests, Al, and I spoke to young Nick Purvis over in DC here, our analyst, and I told him we were going to be speaking to Tim today, and the only comment he came back with was, and I quote, "Yeah, Big Tim, oh yes, always tucks his shirt in." That was it.
I mean,
that's what he came back with.
You have to. You need to present yourself well, you don't.
What was the reason? Was there any reason?
I just got real scared that someone would grab my shirt if I haven't made a good break.
No, I can get that when the shirts were, like John used to play in, when they got wet, they weighed an extra 5 kilograms. But the ones you were wearing were
just small margins.
Nice.
Good,
John,
good answer.
Pumps also mentions that you put Tommy Seymour in for his try. But knowing you as I do, and the amount of tries that you've scored, how was it making the final pass, especially to somebody else in the back three? Was that something that you thrived, or was it always done with a little bit of reluctance, thinking I might be able to score this one myself?
No, I always tried to make the right decision. So, if it's an obvious one, I'll make the pass. If it's less obvious, I'll still make the pass. But if I don't have to make the pass, I'm not making the pass. And whoever said that putting someone away for a try is as good as scoring a try is 100% lying.
Telling lies. You don't score as many tries as you've scored over the years for both club and country by giving those 50-50s. At times you've got to tuck them and make the break yourself.
Of course you do. You need to take your chances, and that's eventually what you're going to get marked on as a winger. But at the same point, it's a team sport. The most important thing is winning, and if a try needs to be scored through a last pass, then I'll definitely be the one making it, or I used to be the one making that pass.
What are you up to now? First, give us a bit of insight into what you're doing now.
So I'm back in Edinburgh, believe it or not. So I obviously finished my career down in London with Harlequins last year. So it's already a year ago. And since moved back to Edinburgh, always considered this home. Obviously lived there for such a long time, a lot of friends here. And set up a property renovations company. So we refurbish city centre apartments. We turn offices into flats, that kind of stuff. But only really in Edinburgh. I would never venture over to Glasgow.
You didn't like coming over here much, did you?
I hated it.
If you're ever looking for somebody to paint the ceilings, Viss. Yeah. Doesn't even need a ladder.
Doesn't need a ladder, does he?
Yeah.
Very good, John. But your journey to the Scotland jersey it was a wee bit different. You're very proud of your heritage, both your Scottish heritage and the fact that you get back to Holland a lot. And I know you've done a lot back home in Holland for rugby as well. But give us a bit of insight into that journey, into that national team jersey.
Yeah, it was really quite special. I think representing your own country first of all is really special. But I think for me, representing my adopted country for me felt way more special than that because at the time I played for Edinburgh for obviously 3 years at that point. And, I felt at home in the city. I felt a strong connection between Holland and Scotland. Very similar people, very sober, very honest, and I felt accepted by the players that I was playing with. Bearing in mind that at that time, the majority of the backline playing for Scotland was the Edinburgh backline. So it felt really at home for me. I think the fact that I was given the opportunity to play for Scotland, even though I never grew up here, was really quite special. And as you'll probably know, we went on that 2012 tour together. I can see you smiling already. And I didn't qualify until sort of halfway through that tour. So I spent the first part, kind of training and then amusing myself around Australia and the likes. But by the time, I got to that first game, I just really wanted the first whistle to go. I wanted to say that I was an international rugby player, and I wanted to say that I played an international rugby game. And luckily enough, I scored 2 tries. Nick DeLuca was very generous that game once again.
The reason I'm smiling, Vish, is because, as you say, you qualified kind of halfway through that tour. So the boys wanted to keep Tim busy. So he was challenged to sing A Flower of Scotland at the front of the bus. And as soon as he got absolutely verbatim, then he could stop.
So I thought to myself, right, I've got at least a couple of weeks to get this sorted because I can't legally play until the Fiji game. Bus leaves Murrayfield, literally straight up Richie Gray goes, Tim Visk to the front, anthem check. And I'm panicking because I roughly knew it because I'd obviously been in the stadium and I'd supported Scotland watching it and all that. But literally the first word, rather than "Oh Flower of Scotland," I sang "The Flower of Scotland." Now you should have heard the hatred coming out of that bus. And anyway, so I told to sit down, and a whole lot of bad-tempered remarks were made to me. But from that point on, a few people, one of which was Jeff Cross, the other one probably Greg later, or might have been yourself actually, started giving me the wrong word. So if I didn't know a little bit, I was like, oh, what's that bit there again? They'd give me the wrong word, knowing that full well the next bus journey I'd be at the front again. So I think eventually it got to, it might have been the Fiji game, but I stood up in front of that bus at least 5-6 times trying to get this right. And that wasn't so special.
I bet you know every single word of it right now.
I do know,
You always had a really good relationship with Hoggy. You always seemed to play very well together. Was there a real understanding between the two of you? Was there a confidence thing? How did it?
On the pitch, for sure, yeah. I think he's one of those players. The good thing about Hoggy is that that he can do everything that you want him to do. He's got such a broad skill set that whatever the situation demands, that he could potentially do it. So when you're outside him as a winger and you're telling him things, so for instance, for that try, I was saying to him, get the ball off in, just quick hands. And that he can do that, get a pass within the space of less than a quarter of a second, get it into your hands. And that's just, not everyone can do that. And you've almost got to, expect everything with him. Against France, for instance, when Greek just threw a Hail Mary and he flicks it over his head. Like in my head, I saw that happening before he was doing it. It's like, oh, this is what he should do. But most of the time on a rugby pitch, it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. With Hoggy, you can almost always expect him to at least try it, and he's got the skills to do it. So, he's put me away for a lot of tries. He's obviously a phenomenal player, but I think that's probably what makes him stand out. He can literally do anything you could possibly want him to do in any circumstance.
Tom, it's been brilliant to hear your insight into that game in 2017. It was a big game for Scotland, the first time in a decade that we beat the Welsh, but also great to hear about what you're doing with your life post-rugby, and great to hear it's going so well. So thanks very much for joining us. Thanks, Tim.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
From Murrayfield, John Barclay leads Scotland for the first time from the start of a game. A new captain, a new spirit alive here at Murrayfield. Prop Gordon Reid says this pack has to stand up today. Nobody will make more tackles than the Gray brothers. Nobody will know more about Wales than captain John Barclay of the Scarlets. Stuart Hogg has scored in the last 4 Six Nations games. Alex Dunbar has the same number of turnovers. No Greg Laidlaw. Can Finn Russell kick his goals? It's the same Wales pack that started against England. The outstanding Ross Moriarty at number 8. Jake Ball, the ball carrier, in the second row. And the same three quarters except for George North back on the wing. Tries in the last 5 Six Nations games for North. 6 would be a Six Nations record. Ross Ford has more caps, 104, than the rest of the Scottish bench put together. Luke Chartres, Taulupe Faletau and JB Roberts have 221 caps between them. Today's referee is John Lacey of Ireland. The ball has been delivered by the Royal Marines, who abseiled off the West Stand. Special delivery of the match ball. Scotland in their huddle. Can they keep the spirit born of victory over Ireland in round 1 against Wales? Both sides played 2, won 1, lost 1. If they are going to have a tilt at the title, they need to win here today. Finn Russell starts Scotland at home against Wales. Jonathan Davis catches for Wales on the edge of his own 22. Ken Owens, the hooker.
6 away now.
Dan Bigger.
Stay red. No.
Penalty against Scotland. Offside. Referee John Lacey. And good afternoon, Chris Patterson.
Good afternoon, Eddie Batter. Looking forward to this one. It was a well-taken kick-off by Jonathan Davis, wasn't it? Wales looked very comfortable with that kick away. Scotland straying offside. Interesting to see the first tackle of the day was made by John Hardy, fully recovered from his bump in Paris. It was a big collision with Ken Owens.
Dan Bigger will be keeping an eye on the flags high over the stadium. The wind was due to drop, and it has. It is behind Wales in this first half. Bigger takes it flat, makes a yard against John Hardy, up over the halfway line. Now then, Scotland, their first set piece, they will have the put in.
Finn Russell got up well in the line and it made the tackle. Dan Bigger. Yeah, Dan Bigger's big. Martin, you'll know him very well for a 10. He almost rode the tackle, but the line speed and the pressure was there. And the fumble at the breakdown. Tipuric.
Very, very physical. I think it was that man, Fraser Brown, in there causing a mess, and sloppy lineup from Wales. They won it, but it was poor distribution to Rhys Webb, and that had a knock-on effect. Fascinating battle between the flankers today. You know, more or less got 4 open side flankers today, so that tackle area, contact area is going to be key.
Nice and slow now, boys. Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay.
Scotland have given away more penalties at the scrum than any other country.
Boys, I need you both working harder here now.
Seconds!
Crouch!
Sick!
Ali Price, who came on
Bind.
early in Paris for Greg Laidlaw. Penalty to Scotland.
Yeah, I think they've given all their penalties away, Scotland, 8, I think, and so far in the tournament, on opposition ball, on their own ball. You know, they haven't been stable, but they haven't given penalties away, so that's a fantastic start for them. I thought Stuart Hogg might have a crack there, Chris.
Yeah, it's you can see John Lacey's jersey flapping vigorously in the wind. The wind does swirl here at BT Murrayfield. As you can see, has it affected Finn Russell's kick to touch? No, it hasn't. It's a good kick and it's a good start in Scotland, but it was Robbie Evans, I think, his head and shoulders, as he's getting reiterated to by John Lacey, were below, that drove him into the ground under pressure from Xander Fagerson.
Fraser Brown with an attacking Scotland line out to aim at. Richie Gray sets up the driving maul. Ali Price goes digging for it, is told to use it. Price. The door closed on him quickly. Ken Owens with the tackle. Johnny Gray. Good clearing out by the Scottish forwards. They've committed a lot of forwards to the ruck, but there is the ball on the edge of the Wales 22. Forced back out of the 22. Wales try counter-rucking, but it's still there for Scotland. Johnny Gray again. Finn Russell. Stuart Hogg waits outside John Hardy. Hugh Jones on the burst. Good passing out of contact by Scotland. Stuart Hogg to the ground. Number 8, Ryan Wilson drives it up. Richie Gray, tackled by Alan Wynne-Jones, among others. Penalty advantage being played for Scotland. Russell. Again, it's a good tackle by Ken Owens, but back to the original penalty.
Well, that's a good starting attack by Scotland. A physical defensive line from Wales. They are very tight, Martin, and Scotland didn't go wide until they got some momentum. I think it was Johnny Gray who got over the advantage line, and then Finn Russell set Hugh Jones wide, out wide. He set him away, but then there's a clear directional play by Scotland. It's forward first before they go wide, isn't it?
Yeah, as expected, you know, it's very physical, but you saw earlier on in that passage there, Dan Biggar goes for the strip of the ball, which he does so well, but when you miss the man, which I think he does on this occasion, Hugh Jones, you know, he's through. It was good off-throw by Hardy, and this is Biggar. He goes for the strip, misses it. You've got to get the man on the ground early. It's a good start, great start from Scotland.
Yeah, thank you. Great, thank you.
Finn Russell, simple kick, but well, he had one of these in Paris. It was a conversion. This Scotland's first penalty, and it's over, and that will make Finn Russell feel very good.
There's a good reward from good pressure from Scotland early on. I'd pick you up on that idea. I don't think there are any simple kicks in an international game, but he did well to keep his composure and chip Scotland into an early lead.
You would know, Chris, you have been out there in that horribly exposed position of being the kicker.
That's why you practice.
Someone who missed one right in front of the post, I know his pain.
Here is Russell. And here is his opposite number, Dan Biggar.
Off feet now!
Jake Ball, who did a lot of the heavy work against England, had a good game, the Scarlet second row. Alan Wynne-Jones in midfield. Tackling is ferocious. Scott Williams. Rhys Webb wearing the little head bandage.
6 away! Rock 4 and 5!
There for Webb. Biggar to Ball again. Good hands, Ken Owens. Ross Moriarty. First glimpse of the Gloucester back row forward. Rob Evans took it well. Scott Williams again. Lee Halfpenny. The ball comes out to Liam Williams.
Ball there now.
Jake Ball.
It's 5. Stay there, 5.
The turnover is good, says the referee. Scotland steal the ball. Jake Ball slow to get back into position.
No, play on, play on. Strip.
Heavy duty carrying. Xander Fagerson.
Stay outside now.
Ali Price takes responsibility for the clearance. Lee Halfpenny makes sure it goes out, tries to clear a line out back, but that's good clearance work by Scotland.
That's a physical start to the game, isn't it? Look at some of these collisions. Not a lot of footwork at the moment from the attacker, the ball carrier. There's Gordon Reid's turnover, driving Alan Wynne-Jones off the ball, and then from there Scotland played 2 phases, and it was really important that Ali Price's kick found touch.
One of those little victories. Good work by Gordon Reid at the counter up. Penalty to Wales, being taken out in the air.
Yeah, they used Tipperick and Overton a lot in the line-out Wales. I think over 17 times in the first couple of games. Tipperick just pulled in the air. You know, you've got to let the man catch the ball, come to the ground.
Dan Biggar looking to get as far into the 22 as he can.
Why would Wales do that, Martin? Use 2 back row guys in the line-out so often.
They've just done a lot over the last 2 games. It's been a success. They're very, very good line-out players. Very easy to lift. I think that's the reason why you could be exposed in wide areas, but so far in the Six Nations, the backs have done their job behind.
Justin Tipperick is the dummy jumper that time. Alan Wynne-Jones in the middle of the line-out. Wales try to set up the drive. Tipperick sets it up. Warburton continues the move. Penalty advantage to Wales. Sorry, it's a knock-on advantage. Rhys Webb, 10 metres short of the line. There is the prize. Jake Ball.
Advantage off feet.
Sam Warburton over the ball, protects it. It's gone loose. Liam Williams has to go back to gather. No advantage. Penalty to Wales.
There was 2 penalties in the build-up there. The second one slightly closer to the Scotland line as Rhys Webb is looking to keep the Scottish defence on us. The Scottish defender off the feet. The first one was for offside, and Rhys Webb took a half gap there and burst through, didn't he, man?
He's so dangerous, Rhys Webb. It's his trademark. You know it's coming as a forward, but it's so difficult to defend. He's so explosive, so powerful off the mark. He just gives that little look, the eyes, and he's gone. Gordon Reid has bought that. Can't move. If you're Gordon Reid, that's your man, Rhys Webb. You've got to stick to him until that ball is gone.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Gareth Davis is similar on the bench as well. They're both really quite cute attackers in around the breakdown.
We'll deal with that as best we can.
Lee Halfpenny. Slightly longer. But that's only the 22.
Is this one easier, Ed?
We're all square at Murrayfield. The penalty by Lee Halfpenny of Toulon. 3 apiece. Rob Howley in the suit. Sean Edwards in front of him. High kick. Liam Williams waits. Stuart Hogg. Doesn't take the quick one. Scotland will take their time.
That was a good kick by Liam Williams, wasn't it? And the swirl and wind up this west stand side, the ball just swirled, but it's good length, cleared almost up to the Scotland 10-metre line. That's exactly what you're looking for after you've scored points, is clear your danger area.
Fraser Brown again. John Barkley. This time Wales take the jumper out in the air.
Yeah, you can't help yourself sometimes as you're competing for the ball. Jake Ball, that time he's gone for it. Sometimes as well as the guys lifting the man, that perhaps don't support the man as well as he should, and it's an easy penalty for Scotland.
It's a scruffy one. So, penalty advantage not taken by Scotland. It's a 22 dropout for Wales.
There's a lot of penalties in the first 12 minutes. 6 penalties in the first 13 minutes. Hasn't really got any momentum in the game yet. It's very stop-start.
Finn Russell. Well, this time it's Wales taking their time. Dan Bigger goes back. He's going to belt this downfield, downwind. Russell. Inside. Ryan Wilson, the number 8. Good charge by Wilson. Scotland on the move. Johnny Gray makes ground in the Welsh half now.
Hold there now.
Fraser Brown.
Hold.
Yeah. Russell. Out. Barkley out in the 3 quarters. Wales trying to hold him up.
Tackle now. Ball is available there.
Johnny Gray to Gordon Reid. Richie Gray just scrambles an extra yard. Ali Price.
Onside. Early take 11.
Tim Visser gives away the penalty, and you can hear what the crowd thinks of that.
I'll ask Martin what he thinks, but I think Tim Visser is a penalty for taking the man out there. I think it's a missed timing when he gets up as the ball's caught in that swirling wind, and I think it's a fair competition for the ball, just gets his timing wrong.
No, I agree. It looks in real time, it looked like a fake contest from Visser. Yes, he's gone up early, but
I think the fact that Ali Price had to kick, as you see, the incident again, it's a harsh penalty.
Bigger's done well there. He's milked that for all money. That's not a penalty in my book. I think Visser's got up before him. He's gone up early. Bigger's thrown his arms and legs. He's bought it.
Alan Wynne-Jones well picked up by both scrum half and by Scott Williams in the centre. Justin Tipperick tries to tidy up. It's still there for Wales, but they're having to fight hard for possession. Bigger.
Stop now, Red. Stop 2.
Slow possession, so up it goes towards Stuart Hogg. Outside the 22. Jonathan Davis with the follow-up tackle. George North over the ball. Scotland back in good numbers. Johnny Gray.
Counter. Use a 9.
Scrum half Price. To Lee Halfpenny. Well taken by Halfpenny.
6 off now.
Under pressure from Tommy Boyd. Ball. Distribution from the second row. Ross Moriarty gets up, has a second drive.
Ball available.
Bigger. Scott Williams. George North. Well marshalled by Visser. Rob Evans. Bigger, flat. Wales trying the passing game out of contact. It's surrendered possession to Scotland, and Finn Russell spots ground behind Lee Halfpenny. Halfpenny goes back and watches it go over for a 22 dropout.
Well, Lee Halfpenny having as there's a little bit of action off the ball. Finn Russell getting himself involved with Lee Halfpenny.
What is it with you Scottish halfbacks?
They're born angry. The Scottish halfback's born angry, but John Lacey's going to calm everybody down.
If he interferes, I'll deal with it. You got your penalty over there now. Yes, thank you, that's enough now. Time on.
Never short of a word or two, Dan Bigger. But I tell you what, some of these hits in midfield, John Hardy put one on Scott Williams. There's no quarter asked at the minute, it's just full on.
Tackle's good.
Good tackle by Ken Owens on Ryan Wilson.
Pass is flat.
Different one. Works though. Scotland into the Welsh half.
Strip is backwards, so play on.
Vegas. Wales claim the turnover and they earn the penalty.
6 on his feet from the start of arriving.
Yeah, it's a textbook Sam Overton. He's sniffed that. He's just run behind the contact area, behind the tackle area, and he's seen a little glimpse of light, and he's gone in and won a fantastic turnover for Wales.
What's incredible at Sam Warburton is the speed that he identifies it and then actually accelerates into the breakdown to make sure he takes the contact on his own terms and get his hands on that
ball. If you
ball.
see a replay, but there's a height as well, his body height, and once he's over that ball, you've got no chance. Just catching the end of it there, but if you saw a bigger picture, where he came from, the speed and the height.
It's a break from Warburton, and it's just forcing the pass a little bit from Dan Bigger, trying to give that one extra pass. Good invention. It ended in turnover.
Alun Wyn Jones wins the line out. Away comes Moriarty. Rhys Webb. Liam Williams, well read by Finn Russell. Webb. Support from Tipperick. Webb doesn't need him for the moment.
Okay, turnover's fine.
It's another turnover by Scotland.
Stay free!
They're virtually playing with 14 men at the minute, Scotland as well. John Hardy's in a real bad shape.
Not out. No.
Ali Price. It's a pattern. If it's slow ball, Price is happy to put a boot to it. Good wriggling by Lee Halfpenny out of the tackle.
Ball is out.
Scotland again work themselves into a turnover situation.
Well, there certainly are a few turnovers. There's so much competition in around the breakdown on the ball. Kicks are being put under pressure. This is a wonderful take. First of all by Lee Halfpenny in the spin at the tackle. He fights to stay in the field. He knows he's isolated. He buys a little bit of time and space for himself. Class player, Lee Halfpenny did really well. But the one thing I think that will frustrate the Scottish defence is the number of time that their line's been broken in and around that breakdown. Rhys Webb's already had 2 breaks in there. Robbie Evans has been in and around there as well. The first place you want to shore up is close to the contact, and it's been broken there once or twice.
Is it not the case that John Hardy was sort of brought in to shore up that area of play? But if he's injured now, it'll compromise them there.
Well,
yeah, I think after the big hit on Scott Williams, he's really struggled. I think it's a knee or his leg. He's really struggling. So, you know, at this level, you can't. If you're carrying an injury, you just found out so easily.
Yeah, he hurt. It was his right knee, I think. And Hamish Watson, they've got one of the, for me, the players of the tournament so far ready to come off the bench. Very similar player to John Hardy. John Hardy's as tough as they come, but he is struggling. It looks like he's carrying his right knee. You just see him there. But Hamish Watson is a ready-made replacement. He'll come on and make a big impact if needed.
John Hardy at the back of the line out. He's walking very awkwardly. Gordon Reid also having treatment. He looks all right. Up she goes from Price again.
Yeah.
This time it comes back, but into touch.
You can see the kick employs as well, Martin, as everything's contestable, whether it's off 9 or 10. Bigger and Finn Russell have had high ones as well. They're looking to kick to win the possession back, both sides.
Wales reduce the numbers in the line-out. Sam Warburton goes out into the three-quarters. Alan Wynne-Jones wins.
One stop, 9.
Rhys Webb comes into view, takes his time. Just a new variation from Wales to try and push Scotland back a little bit. Webb's kick. Tim Visser waits and catches under pressure from George North, who holds him up.
It's two pretty big wingers over there against each other, Chris, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm safer sitting here, I think.
And it's good work by George North, because Wales will have the put-in.
That's just raw strength from George North. Tim Visser is a big man. He's a strong, powerful winger. The kick was a little bit too long, as we see John Hardy in the background still picking up some team. The kick was a little bit too long, gave Tim Visser time to catch. But then watch this. The initial contact's okay, and then George North gets his feet underneath him, lifts up Tim Visser, holds up with the help of Bigger. I think Moriarty's in there and wins the turnover.
It's good so far.
You can see the call as well. Bigger. It's Rob Evans, who's in there helping out. So
just
the players want to work together. They don't want to bring Tim Visser to the ground. They want to hold him up.
Just looking at John Hardy arriving there, he could hardly add any weight to the driving situation. He's down again.
Let's get the head and shoulders.
Yeah, like Chris said, they've got a ready-made replacement, Hamish Watson. So, John Hardy was only probably going to play 60 minutes anyway, so they just strap him up, a few painkillers, and hang on in there for as long as he can go. But when you're up against Warburton and Tipperick, you need to be 100%. There he is, Hamish Watson. As Chris said, he's been absolutely superb in those opening 2 rounds.
He adds an attacking edge as well. John Hardy's destructive. He's so tough. He's so hard. I think this is where Hardy picks up the knock. What was this one? It was a big tackle as well on Rob Evans. You see his right leg. It looks like obviously a contact injury, which is better than a strain or a twist. Could be a dead leg. There's his right knee, but he's certainly struggling. He's going on. He's going to take his place in the back row in this scrum, but Hamish Watson is ready to get his tracksuit off.
John Hardy on the side of the scrum. Free kick quickly taken by Rhys Webb. Scott Williams long to Lee Halfpenny. A chance for Wales, and Liam Williams, first try of the game.
Well, Liam Williams scores. He's followed on from his performance against England. He's a man on fire. 5 clean line breaks so far in the championship, and he's added another try. And this was all about the quick thinking of Rhys Webb and the execution of passing across the back line. Every ball out in front, and Liam Williams can finish it. Rhys Webb has already taken the quick tap. Watch the pass from Bigger and from Williams, and in this one, the timing and the accuracy from Lee Halfpenny, perfect for Williams, who scores in the left-hand corner.
Yeah, all about Rhys Webb, quick thinking, but really narrow in defence, Scotland. And like I say, those perfect passing from the Welsh backline. And that's a great start, and it's the end of Hardy as well. He's walking off as we see the replay.
Corner cam taken out by Stuart Hogg. Liam Williams, the try scorer. Lee Halfpenny from wide out, and just behind him, here he is, John Hardy. Will play no further part in the game. Hamish Watson is poised to come on. Will it curl in? Beautifully struck by Lee Halfpenny. 5 becomes 7, and the Welsh lead grows. Scotland 3, Wales 10.
Just the speed of the quick tap, wasn't it? And then Scotland's defence doesn't have time to go organised from the free kick at the scrum. And It's a good start for Wales.
Finn Russell towards the try scorer, Liam Williams. He's off again.
Ball there now. Ball's out.
Ken Owens, the hooker, back in his 22.
Still in,
Dan
still
Biggott
in.
takes up position straight behind Rhys Webb.
Inside.
Stuart Hogg catches inside to Russell, who reaches well and runs well and passes well, and the catch by Tommy Boyd is not made. Quickly taken, but no, they'll come back.
Option taken.
There's Tommy Seymour. This is a counter-attack from Finn Russell as he tries to look for some space on the right-hand side, but unfortunately knocked on by Tommy Seymour.
Down on the ground, Jason White.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to watch the battle of the second rows today. Richie and Johnny Gray for Scotland, huge involvement. Going up against Alan Wynne, one of the best second rows in the world. With the bigger context, the summer tour to New Zealand, they'll all be vying to get on that stage, and how this battle plays out today will have a key bearing on the game.
The break by Rhys Webb, the pass to Liam Williams, the try scorer. Webb in support, Williams cuts back inside. Rob Evans in support, held off the ball. Will it go to a review? I think it will.
Rhys Webb, that man Rhys Webb again, but he is so cute here. I don't know if the referee will pick up on this, but as he's passed the ball, he's just pulled Seymour back.
We need to check the actions of red 9 after he gives the pass.
Okay.
Yeah, he spotted
So
it.
potential foul play. Is that what
Potential foul play by red 9. It's not try yes or no.
Okay.
Television match official, Rowan Kitch.
Got you, Johnny.
Potential foul play first. My view is knocked back by 4 blue, and then try yes or no.
Looking at the actions of red 9 after he's made the pass first.
Yeah, Rhys Webb, the man you picture, scintillating break, freeing Liam Williams up this left-hand side, but to the naked eye, looked as if he reached out a hand to pull back Tommy Seymour. We'll have a look here. So quick into his run, isn't he? The pass is good, and then we're looking at Rhys Webb.
He's completely dictating the game, Webb, at the minute, isn't he? Very, very subtle, Paul.
It's that area again, isn't it? And then you can see there the pull on Tommy Seymour. Would Seymour have caught him? Who knows? But it's certainly impeded.
Okay, Johnny, that's the angles. You're okay with the actions of red 9?
Pull for you by...
That's a pull for me back, and it stops the player potentially making the tackle.
Okay. It's a pull back by 9. What about blue putting his arm on the stop? Pull back 15.
Alan Wynne-Jones has a counter argument, but the penalty against Rhys Webb is given. A little shake of the head, but he knows.
Yeah, in the good old days, you would have got away with that one. It was a clever piece of play from Webb. Just enough of a pull there, I think, to cause the penalty is so debatable.
Banana kick from Finn Russell, and Scotland, instead of facing a conversion, are now just outside the Welsh 22.
Well, here's the break. It's so sharp around that edge, isn't it? Great ball to the tail of the line out for Ken Owens. Alan Wynne-Jones makes the space right through the middle, and then look how sharp he knows where he's going. He's pointing to Liam Williams. He gets outside Gordon Reid, and I believe there is a reach there just with the left hand to Tommy Seymour, and the penalty was given.
Fraser Brown. Scotland, with great deliberation, set up the driving maul. Ali Price ordered to use it. That's Rob Evans scrapping away for the ball. High tackle given against Sam Warburton. He wanted to get his arms around the ball carrier and hold him up. That's a good tackle by Dan Biggar, but it's still advantage Scotland. Finn Russell, that's a good pass to Stuart Hogg. Halfpenny goes back, Hogg in hot pursuit.
Coming back for the penalty, is he?
Claimed the try. He has a little smile about it all. We go back to the penalty.
Yeah, I think it was Sam Overton and Ali Price, wasn't he? He's gone high.
High by 6 red.
Yeah.
6.
It's so difficult. He's sniping round. He's obviously a bigger man, and anywhere around that area now you're going to get penalised.
Yeah, even if the initial contact's not there, this is where it ends from Tuerhog's chip through. He was claiming a try, but how well has Lee Halfpenny done there under huge amounts of pressure? Tuerhog, even to get himself on the end of that chip, shows how quick he is, but I think he knows exactly what he was doing. Lee Halfpenny, well, two competitors. Lee Halfpenny did really well there.
Finn Russell lines up the kick. Scotland celebrates. The gap is reduced to 4 points. Vern Cotter doesn't give much away, the big New Zealander, but his side are up to 6, Wales 10. Into the Scotland 22. Hogg jumps for it, thumped back in the second tackle. Johnny Gray. This is the new player on the field, Hamish Watson. And he's done ever so well to stay in field there, because for a moment it looked as if he could only be pushed into touch. In fact, he is in touch.
Leave it.
I think you saw an example there of how physical the Welsh backs are. We saw, here we go, the handbags.
Leave it. Off we go. So he's getting the ball, you know it was going. I know that.
There's a little bit of melodrama going on out there.
It's brilliant. The scrum half starts in, then he walks away, and what's Rhys Webb? He started and he's out of shot now. He's gone.
Where is the little imp? See, he's nowhere there. He's out of sight now.
Just leave it go. Your line out. Let's go.
Yeah, just seeing the physicality of the Welsh backs. We saw George North holding Visa up earlier. Scott Williams that time. It was a good carry by Hamish Watson, but it's the power. Here we go.
Counter-rucking by Scotland, and again they turned the ball over. Dan Digger tore up in the line, but Hamish Watson does well to turn out of the tackle. Russell infield. Ali Bryce has to deal with slow ball. Gordon Reid the prop. Sam Warburton trying to buy a penalty. John Lacey having none of it. Slow for Price.
No.
Jim Visser takes it well, finds Richie Gray in support. Russell. Still a Scottish advantage. Wales have slowed it down and have earned themselves a penalty just when Scotland were building an overlap on one side.
Leave it down, 3.
They give a penalty in front of the posts quite a way out.
Well, it's the same two suspects at number 6 and number 7, Sam Warburton and Justin Tipuritt, working really well together. Scotland actually had an overlap there. As here, John Lacey having a word with Alan Wynne-Jones, the skipper, to see what the decision is. They are going to kick it goal,
deal with that now, thanks.
Warburton and Tipuritt working so well together. Warburton with the tackle this time, and then watch the speed of Justin Tipuritt from ground to feet. He gets up and he wins the space over the ball and gets his hands on the ball. That's excellent play, isn't it, Martin?
Skipper.
Brilliant play, and I think there was great way from Scott Williams as well, because like you say, Scotland had the overlap, but Scotland shot out of the line, just spooked. I think it was Fraser Brown who tucked, went into the contact, and that's, you know, meat and drink to Warburton and Tipperick.
One penalty, one conversion to his name. Lee Halfpenny, this a second penalty attempt.
Go on.
Turned immediately, Lee Halfpenny liked it, likes what's on the scoreboard. Scotland 3, Scotland 6, Wales 13. Beautifully taken by Tommy Boyd. Wales were building some sort of wall in front of him, and Boyd just ignored them all and caught the ball, and Scotland are on the move. The Gray brothers wait for the passes. It's Johnny first. Russell. Next, Dunbar drives up. Quicker ball for Scotland, and John Barkley. He can't get very far. Russell, Johnny Gray, and he can't get far. Brilliant tackle by Alan Wynne-Jones and by Sam Warburton. And Wales have the footing up. The tackling is just spectacular.
Oh, that's incredible. So often Johnny Gray runs really hard. It's a brilliant ball carrier. He's been hit by his opposite number, Alan Wynne-Jones, and he knows that this is a massive collision in the midfield. Tipperick's in there as always, but look at the collision and then the leg drive. As a drive Johnny Gray back, you don't often see that. The Welsh defence so far, Martin, has been absolutely outstanding. The only space, as we see another look at that hit, the only space Scotland have found is on the outside edge. If you try and go through the middle, it's formidable, isn't it?
It really is, and I think, you know, the back five, so physical. Alan Wynne, he's lost the line out, the kick off by Tommy Seymour, so he's still hurting from that, and it's a great response. And you're right, Chris, I think the physicality of the moment of the Welsh has just got the edge over the Scottish.
The try set up by the quick thinking of Rhys Webb. The long pass from Scott Williams, Lee Halfpenny with the final delivery to Liam Williams.
Every pass is just perfect, isn't it? That's really what makes that try. You know, to the purists, they'll be so proud of that try. The Welsh coaches have Alex King, who works in the attack, and his girls will be so proud of the passing. Absolutely, and it had to be because Stuart Hogg was coming across, but the passing was perfect.
It's a simple game we overcomplicate sometimes, don't we? And he just shows there, you know, no dummy runners, just brilliant passing, brilliant execution from the Welsh backline.
Apologies to Justin Tipperick. It was he who helped in the tackle with Alan Wynne-Jones. Sam Warburton was very quickly on the scene.
Bind. Come in. Set.
Rob Evans against Xander Ferguson on this near side.
Yeah, it's only our third scrum. About the first two, there's a penalty to Scotland, a free kick to Wales, so they have been a mess. So thankfully,
okay, let's go.
We haven't had too many this afternoon.
Wait for my bind. Wait for my bind. Let's go.
Seconds.
Crouch.
Set.
Bind. Set.
Penalty against Xander Ferguson.
Same picture. 1 and 3 feet.
Feet too far back.
Yeah, he's saying they lost their feet, Ferguson and Gordon Reid. And that probably subconsciously for John Lacey as well. He'll know Scotland would have really struggled in the opening 2 games. Like I mentioned earlier, conceded 8 penalties on opposition ball.
1 and 3 feet come behind them. Okay, they need to get their feet underneath them.
They're telling me they're just hinging. So.
Their feet are gone.
John Lacey explaining to John Barclay, Scotland's captain. Ken Owens to throw.
Yeah.
Justin Tipperick gets it down to Rhys Webb. Flat to Scott Williams. Webb again. This time orthodox, bigger. Liam Williams off his wing into midfield. Penalty to Wales. Scotland can't work
13
a turnover.
6 in.
Just for 1-6. Hugh Jones
13, not you, skipper.
giving away the penalty.
Yeah. So it's Hugh Jones who's penalised. It'll be interesting to see this one again.
Never rolled.
He never rolled away from the tackle. 6 was okay, so John Barclay was okay. And that man Hugh Jones, if you make the tackle, you've got to get out of the way. Roll out to the side. A lot of players try and roll the wrong way, they get it picked up. We'll see what happens. There's Jones with the tackle. We'll see how quickly. Yeah, I think it's a good call by John Lacey. He just delays by a second, doesn't he?
Clever work from Ken Owens as well. The Welsh number 2 there. He's pinning Hugh Jones in so he can't move. Barkley would have thought he was all over that ball to win a penalty, but it's smart play from Ken Owens.
And how annoying is it when you've given away a penalty and the opposite scrum half gives you a pat on the head?
Is that it again?
Pleasant fellows on these scrum halves. I think that real tackle area at the minute, the first half in particular, is definitely a tick in the box for Wales. You know, Scotland caused France all sorts of trouble, but Wales are definitely winning that area so far.
Wales at the tackle, Scotland at the breakdown. They've turned Wales over on several occasions. For the moment, Lee Halfpenny, shortly after putting Wales 13-6 ahead. This with half-time beckoning. No, pushed it. A wild miss by Lee Halfpenny standards.
Odd man out.
He's lost, is he? Yeah, very unusual to see Lee Halfpenny. Big kick that as well to put Wales 2 scores in front.
High and long towards Liam Williams. Hogg comes forward and claims it against the chasing Liam Williams. Ali Price digs out again.
Leave him go.
Fraser Brown led that first charge, and Finn Russell going aerial again. Dan Biggar had time to catch George North. Put out a touch, and that wasn't the plan. Scotland take it quickly, and it's in the hands of their major running threat, Stuart Hogg. Hogg threads one through. Brilliantly taken, Tommy Boyd, Hugh Jones. George North back, couldn't make the tackle. Scotland flood the breakdown, but it's been slowed and it's been turned over by Wales. And Rhys Webb points downfield. He will take the kick. He has Jonathan Davis behind him. This is like the last minute against England. It's going to be Jonathan Davis again. And he does find touch this week.
I thought they would have to do 2 phases before they cleared, but I tell you what, that time the coaches would be delighted to get the ball in the field. What about this for a counter-attack, Martin? Stuart Hogg so dangerous with the ball in hand. He knows that. The Welsh defenders know that. As they set off, he just drops it onto the toe. Beautiful kick for Tommy Seymour to get the end of. And then from here, well, I thought Hugh Jones would have made it, but it's Tipperick again with a tackle.
It's not just Tipperick. Look how many Welshmen are get there, you know, compared to blue shirts, but it's absolutely sensational play from Stuart Hogg.
Stuart Hogg, whose kick made the chance possible. All they have for the moment is a line out. Up they go through Ryan Wilson, and driving hard into midfield. Justin Tipperick involved in the tackle area again, trying to keep it as a maul, but it's a ruck, and now it's Scotland again on the move. Richie Gray. Penalty advantage. Ali Price. Russell. Hugh Jones, Alex Dunbar. Crunching tackle by Liam Williams.
By red, is that what you said?
Still
Okay,
penalty
it was great
advantage
great
to
penalty
Scotland.
advantage anyway.
Johnny Gray. Ryan Wilson, Sam Warburton.
No.
With the tackle. No advantage.
6 is on that. 8 not rolling.
Sam Warburton penalised.
8 not rolling.
Well, it's been another cracking 40 minutes of rugby, hasn't it? You see Sam Warburton there. He made the final tackle. I think it was Ross Moriarty who was penalised for not rolling away. But Scotland coming alive towards the end of the first half, applying pressure and an important point to score. Important time to score points.
Yeah, superb. Last 20 minutes, this game has come to life, hasn't it? And I think it's one of those areas, if you're a Welsh player, if you're a Welsh supporter, you don't mind giving away the 3 points here rather than the try. You're under pressure. Looks like you're going to go into the shed half-time 4 points in front. So fantastic first half of rugby.
Well, the fortunes have swayed in this opening half. Scotland were facing a Lee Halfpenny penalty. It could have been 6-16. And at half-time now, it could be 9-13. It is exactly that. Finn Russell with the penalty. Half-time whistle goes. Merrifield at half-time. Scotland 9, Wales 13.
So I'm no longer playing for the Scottish national side, but thanks to BT and Scottish Rugby, I'm able to virtually rejoin the Scotland national session during the Guinness Six Nations.
Let's start with some basic attacking play.
Oh, that's weird. It's good that I don't like heights, right?
Expect Hugh Jones to throw in a switch.
Henry, you're across here.
Oh, that is weird.
Don't shut it off, George.
That's very lifelike. It's a little bit unnerving to start with, and actually understanding you can look around and stuff. But it's a very, very unusual experience. But really fascinating to be part of that.
Get ready to go in the whistle.
A rugby club is more than 15 players on the field. It's about a life better spent. A community mucking in together out of love for the local game. From kicking tees to cups of tea. Protecting the future of the game, making the stars of tomorrow. Royal Bank Rugby Force makes rugby life even better. We'll support over 75% of all qualifying clubs this season with tools, funding and expertise. Make sure your club is one of them. To apply, search Royal Bank Rugby Force and get started today.
Although the Scottish Government is easing the coronavirus restrictions, it's vital you still stay at home as much as possible. Only meet with one other household per day, outside and in groups of no more than 8 people. It's crucial you stay 2 metres apart at all times. If travelling for leisure or exercise, stick to around 5 miles and avoid crowded places. This is a critical time. If we don't follow the advice, we're putting lives at risk.
No changes apart from Hamish Watson for John Hardy. That was made early in the first half. John Barclay, Scotland's captain. Tommy Seymour on the wing. Tommy Boyd. Well taken by Stuart Hogg. Wales tried to hold him up. Hogg out to Xander Fagerson, the prop. Ali Price, the scrum half. Johnny Gray. Price waits again. Rob Evans trying to make a nuisance of himself. Halfpenny waits and drops. Gone backwards. Didn't go backwards. So Lee Halfpenny, well, you don't see that very often.
No, that is the channel of this pitch here in Edinburgh. The wind really swirls in there, and I think he caught it, he dropped it, and he almost got it back, but that won't bother Lee Halfpenny. He'll put that out of his mind and get on with the job in hand. He did go forward before pulling back, but it's the same tactic. Every kick today has been contestable. We've not seen long kicks. They've been contestable. That one was probably too long, but Scotland got lucky as Lee Halfpenny couldn't quite handle it.
The big question is, are we eventually going to see a scrum completed? Because they have been a total mess so far in the first half.
Sam Warburton's head bobs up just to have a look at what the Scottish three-quarters are all about. Ross Moriarty 2 at number 8. Rob Evans, number 1, expresses his frustration.
Just stop. 2 of you, come here. Come here. You don't need anybody else. Don't need anybody else. No. Your feet are 2 back and you're pulling down. That's it. The 2 of you sort those 2 problems out, or the 2 of you will leave. Are we clear? Let's do what I say, please.
It's pretty clear, isn't it? But this is where John Lacey needs Mark Carley on the far side as assistant referee to really help him. He can't see both sides, but he's so close to Carley. They should be communicating and finding out what exactly is happening on that far side.
Bind. Set.
Ready.
Scotland scrum holds well. Out it comes. A scrum is completed. Tommy Seymour off his wing.
Feet down.
Slowed up. Ali Price has to wait again. Stuart Hogg. Justin Tipperick tries to hold him up, and again Hogg gets the ground. Richie Gray. Warburton over the ball.
No, stay.
Can't win it this time.
Tackle!
Finn Russell. No way through there, but he does well, the fly half, to twist and turn. Price goes on a run. Jonathan Davis ordered back.
Use it!
Alex Dunbar plays scrum half. And again, over the ball. Hamish Watson plays scrum half. It comes out to John Barclay. And again, the Greys find no way through. Russell to Hogg. It's going to be Tommy Seymour, or is it?
Well, if Scott Williams has made that tackle, that's an unbelievable tackle.
It's just whether it's touching goal.
Rowan, try yes or no, please.
Rowan Kitt will review the effort.
Picture on that last one was really good.
Scott Williams comes across. That looks like a try for Tommy Seymour. An incredible effort by Scott Williams, but it looks like Tommy Seymour's grounded the ball.
Yes. Try awarded by John Lacey. Tommy Seymour the scorer. It's a flying start by Scotland. There is a price to pay. Tommy Seymour still receiving attention.
Yeah, it looks like he's winded, but again, the space is on the outside edge, isn't it? Finn Russell carries the ball to the line, and Stuart Hogg, who again just delays his pass to Tim Visser, and Tim Visser does really well to draw in Lee Halfpenny and release Seymour, who just gets the ball down, despite the efforts of Scott Williams.
Yeah, it's a great finish by Seymour, but it's great build-up play. Liam Williams has just bitten on the decoy runner. A great finish from the two wingers, Visser and Seymour.
Russell from wide out. Off the post, over. 7 points for Scotland. They take the lead at Murrayfield. Scotland 16, Wales 13.
Yeah, if you see Liam Williams here, he just bites on Hugh Jones just that little bit. Allows Visser to come around on the outside. A wonderful finish from Seymour.
Hamish Watson underneath it, under pressure from George North. Russell comes away with it. And that's a fine clearance under pressure by Finn Russell.
It's another good exit from Scotland. A little bit scruffy at the kick-off, but Finn Russell managed to get his boot to ball, and you can see the effect of the wind from a narrow angle, taking the ball up to halfway, and a light opportunity for Wales.
Wales take their time at the line-out. Alan Wynne-Jones, it's an overthrow. John Barclay comes away with it. Alex Dunbar couldn't pass. Jonathan Davis had cut out his option. Price to Ferguson. Full voice, Scotland in the lead. Wales still making thunderous tackles, pushing Scotland back into their half. Johnny Gray. Russell will put it high. That's brilliantly taken by Tim Visser. Johnny Gray to Ferguson again. Ferguson involved again. Richie Gray.
Yeah, he's fine.
And again, Ferguson. Russell high again. Superb catch, or flat back by Tommy Seymour. Russell, all Scotland at the moment. Hamish Watson makes yards and doesn't make yards. Suddenly, the Scottish attacks stop.
Well, it stops and is brought to an end by Alan Wynne-Jones with a tackle, and then he wins the turnover. But we'll look at that for second half possession, and they've got the score to prove it early in the second half. That was a great piece of attack by Scotland, making more ground than they did in the first half. But the Welsh defence came out on top in the end with Alan Wynne-Jones.
Yeah, it's a huge penalty from Alan Wynne-Jones, because Scotland at the minute, they're winning all the 50-50s, making all the right decisions. It's a huge penalty just to kill that momentum a little bit for Scotland, which has totally swung their way in the second half. Here he is, Alan Wynne, not just Wolverton, Tipper, he gets in there so strong.
Stay there now.
This is Tommy Seymour winning the aerial battle. We've spoken about the contestable kicks, but Scotland got 2 back there, 1 from Visser, 1 from Seymour.
Skill of the day. Ross Moriarty charges into midfield. Wales on the move. For the first time in the second half, they have earned themselves a penalty. Rhys Webb looks one way, goes the other. Jonathan Davis. Davis for the line. The pass. Can't find a hand. Lee Halfpenny's up there. It's gone forward. Oh, Wales so close.
So what does that mean aside this?
One back away. Advantage is over, okay? Clean line break.
The break by Jonathan Davis, and it sets Wales off in the second half.
Well, now everybody's just calmed down, having another look at this. It was a penalty advantage. Rhys Webb goes to the left, and Ken Owens playing a first receiver. Delayed pass to a brilliant line. Full pace by Jonathan Davis. Excellent tackle by Price. And well, that offload to Rhys Webb, that could have been a try, Martin.
Yeah, I think he's got to give this offload. You know, we've seen Rhys Webb, just a little bit more sympathy on that offload off the floor. We've seen 5 handling errors from Wales. They probably have forced 1 or 2, but I think that time Jonathan Davis was fully justified in trying to find Rhys Webb.
Well, if he didn't, he would have been turned over, wouldn't he? There's 2 defenders there on top of him.
So clean was the break that the advantage was over. So instead of having the penalty, Wales end up that close to the line, but with Scotland putting the ball into the scrum.
The game just so finely balanced, isn't it? Scotland ebbed ahead, you know, in the start of the second half with some good possession, good territory. We just saw a start that was 99% possession for Scotland, and then a flash, a blink of an eye, Jonathan Davis cutting through the Scottish defence.
Yeah, I expect Wales to really attack the Scottish scrum here.
I was just about to say, what pressure can Wales exert? You can just see the strain there. I'd be surprised, Martin, if this one goes full term.
I totally agree. It's going to go one way or the other. Xander Ferguson's had a great game in the loose. You know, he's a huge prospect for Scotland. Has had his struggles. You know, this is another level up from obviously playing for Glasgow, but interesting to see John Lacey's gone over to the other side of the scrum to watch Rob Evans and Xander Ferguson.
Interesting setup from Scotland as well. Finn Russell, you see on the goal line, quite flat. Usually in this position, if you're going to clear, you want a bit of depth, a bit of time to give yourself the kick to get away. So he's maybe looking to attack the right-hand side.
Ali Price feeds the scrum. It's done well. Quick ball, and away comes Ali Price. Tommy Seymour gives away the penalty. Crossing obstruction. It is a penalty for Wales. It's wide out. What's the option here?
Well, if you go in the England game, Alan Wynne-Jones went for the corner. Every time Dan Biggar looks as if he's shaping up to go for the corner as well.
Shot indicated.
Dan Biggar asked the question. Al.
Shot is indicated. Shot is indicated.
They've indicated to go a goal, so they can't change their mind. Oh no, you haven't?
No. They can.
Boys.
Wales for the corner.
I thought once you'd indicate it's actually once the kick and tee's on as well, isn't it? Jenkins was halfway across the field.
Yeah, I mean Jenkins is on with the kick and tee, so if anything comes of this, but there's a...
That's the obstruction. Ryan Wilson, I think, just blocking Warburton to make the tackle on Seymour.
Ken Owens finds Sam Warburton. The drive comes on. Wales obstruct in front of the ball. Penalty to Scotland, and Johnny Gray celebrates. The crowd are relieved.
Yeah, it's an old tactic Wales have used before. Nearly all the backline were in there. Lee Halfpenny, Jonathan Davis. You've got to be so careful when you lift the man that you don't obstruct in front, and John Lacey's picked it up.
Getting there. Got to keep working on it, though, Skipper, okay?
No shortage of drama in the second half.
You're clearly in behind.
Alan Dell prepares to come onto the field.
Yeah, you can bring them time off. Time off, please. One blue.
Gordon Reid is coming off.
He's a big passionate figure. Gordon Reid has done well this afternoon. He put so much energy in around the breakdown. You saw his counteract for the turnover. I think he's done well in the set scrum as well on his side. And then caught up, bringing on Alan Dell, who started the opening 2 games of the championship.
Fraser Brown takes his time, finds John Barkley. Ali Price pushes a little tester towards Liam Williams. Lee Halfpenny, Wales counter from deep. Bigger for himself. It's gone backward. John Barkley, great pickup by the captain. Price over Halfpenny's shoulders. Didn't quite get the bounce Price wanted. Halfpenny, will he keep it in field? He does. Stuart Hogg.
Backwards.
It's gone backwards. Finn Russell. Russell chased by Sam Warburton. Warburton down, straight back up.
It's fine.
Ryan Wilson delivers. Johnny Gray. Gets the ground on the halfway line. Price turns, goes the other way, and it's clear. Ali Price, tackled by Halfpenny. Support from Dell. Ferguson makes the pass. Williams came charging out the line, and it worked because he throws Ryan Wilson to the ground. Wales looking for the turnover. Russell comes away with it.
Off feet.
Penalty advantage to Scotland.
Advantage.
Barkley. Whoops. Alex Dunbar with the quite the strangest kick we may see this championship.
Yeah, wouldn't be too happy with that one, but on a penalty advantage, I think his boots in the wrong feet.
It's the second half, Alex.
No, it was more good pressure from Scotland there. Ali Price with a break up the middle. He got hit hard from Lee Halfpenny, but he managed to get the ball away to Alan Dell in support, and then from there, Lee Williams, who's as good in defence as he is in attack, managed to get back and then be penalised. But there's Ali Price's break in and around that breakdown again. Alan Dell in support. He's a good ball carrier on there, very dynamic for a loose head prop. And then Scotland win the penalty.
So we should try to deal with both sides.
I know it's hard.
Yeah. Sugar.
Finn Russell. This to extend Scotland's lead. They trailed at half-time by 4 points. This to go 6 points into the lead, and they do.
Yeah, it's a big swing, Eddie. You think Wales turned down the opportunity for maybe go for 3 points. Went for the line-out, got penalised, and Scotland worked their way down.
A change ordered by Vern Cotter at scrum half. So Ali Price, having made the break, gives way to Henry Pyrgos. Hamish Watson loses out to George North. Scott Williams. So, from the restart, Wales back in possession. Rob Evans.
Off feet. Okay, go back now. Go back to the back foot, please.
Rhys Webb with Lee Halfpenny acting outside half. Webb again. Jonathan Davis tries to hand off Hugh Jones. Jones makes the tackle. Moriarty.
Stay there, skipper.
Quickly delivered. Webb. Evans, a little sidestep from the prop, makes ground. Halfpenny, bigger, Justin Tipperick. George North outside him. Tipperick didn't risk the pass. Knock on by Wales. Scotland with the put in and a mini celebration. Not by Rob Howley, the Wales coach.
One down.
Tim Bissell wasn't getting his hands in. Tipperick just losing control of the ball. It's the first mistake he's made today. It's been outstanding. That guy in attack and defence is such a high work rate, hasn't he, Mark?
He's top class, you know, he could easily play in the backs as well. Justin Tipperick, you saw his cover defence early on in the first half, and Hugh Jones, an absolutely superb player. He's just got the full package, you know, defensively, offensively, world-class open side in my eyes.
I want you just to kill it on the set.
The tries, Wales in the first half, Liam Williams. Scotland in the second, Tim Visser 2, Tommy Seymour. A 6-point lead.
I can see him, you know, but... Guys, number 4 you said, was it? Red 4, please. Skipper, red 4.
Jake Ball is going off, and on comes Luke Charteris, one of the highly experienced players coming off the bench for Wales. Cap number 72 for Luke Charteris.
Yeah, he's carried well, Jake Ball. Different sort of second row, Luke Charteris. He'll cover lots of ground, make a lot of tackles defensively.
Coach! Bind!
Change at scrum half, Chris.
Yeah, Henry Pyrgos, he's a very experienced campaigner. More similar to Greg Laidlaw than Ali Price, a great head on the shoulders.
It's out, Rhys Webb steals, and Webb is away. Can he finish? Can he finish? It will go to review.
So it's happy, so try yes or no? Yeah, thank you. Ron?
Got you.
We're happy scrum, try yes or no, please.
Okay, try yes or no.
Yeah, thank you.
Busy day for Rowan Kitt.
Well, that's the question, is there try yes or no? This man Rhys Webb has been outstanding so far, and look how sharp he is again. If he beats Tim Visser and what's that, half a metre of space, it's an incredible finish. He's reaching with the ball in his right hand. Look at his left foot, it looks like it touches the line just before, but that's an incredible effort, even to get as close as that, man.
Yeah, all came from the problems from the Scottish scrum as well. Very unstable, quick as a flash, Rhys Webb onto it.
The red player was in touch.
Just in touch.
Touch defending line out.
Line out. Scotland throw. And Rhys Webb. So close.
So quick, isn't he? So dynamic. Just the sniff and he's away. And worrying signs for Scotland, I felt, in the scrum. It's the front row that struggled in the first 2 games. And again, really unstable scrum.
Fraser Brown to throw. Luke Charteris in his first line out. Black scrum cap on the Welsh side. It's gone long. Oh, and it worked. Ryan Wilson comes away with it. Wales read the move, but it still was performed clinically by Scotland. And they clear. Clear well.
You could see that from the Welsh players knew exactly what was coming in. That was a 50-50, black or red. Real gamble. Great throw from Fraser Brown, a great take from Ryan Wilson.
Tom Francis, here's the near try for Rhys Webb. Foot in touch. Tom Francis is off. There's the offending boot. Wales are underway again. Scott Williams in midfield. Oh, Sam Warburton won the scraps. It's gone forward though. Little things going wrong for Wales. Warren Gatland, the Lions coach, watching on.
Yeah, it's Alex Dunbar. Finn Russell with a tackle, and then Alex Dunbar with a strip, ripping it out. The opposite number, Scott Williams. Alex Dunbar's 4 turnovers so far. in the Championship. There's a 5th. He's so powerful in around there, but Scott Williams will be disappointed with that. Take pride when you carry the ball, and he'll be disappointed to lose out.
Scotland made a flying start to the second half, scored their points, and ever since then they've been on defensive duty, but they have this scrum and a chance to go on the attack again.
Go again. Hold your weight, please. On my call. On my call.
Samson Lee on the far side of the Welsh front row, wearing 18.
Expect Scotland just a quick strike straight to Ryan Wilson's feet and away from this scrum as quick as possible if they can manage it.
Yeah, let's go again, lads. No stability.
It's all right, Zaha, stay there. Let's go. Don't let him hinge.
Coming up to 60 minutes, on the verge of the last quarter. There's been plenty of daring, plenty of adventure, plenty of mishaps so far. And it just seems one of those games where there'll be more to come. Henry Pyrgos, as seen by John Lacey, Wales managed to get a little drive on. They get a big drive on. Ryan Wilson does well to come away with it to feed Pyrgos, and Scotland can't get out of their half because Stuart Hogg has kicked straight into touch and says, sorry lads.
Yeah, so Tipperick's probably first and only mistake of the day earlier on, and that's Stuart Hogg's first mistake of the day. He puts his hand up, he acknowledges that, but it's all down to the scrum pressure, isn't it? It's not a clear, stable base to kick from or attack from, and Wales continue to apply the pressure.
Okay, move back, please. 2.
Ken Owens came in with a perfect record throwing. Hasn't been quite perfect today, but it's worked well this time. Away comes Moriarty, feeds Warburton. Liam Williams off his wing. Rhys Webb waits. Rhys Webb alert, finds Rob Evans. Great pass by the prop to Luke Charteris. Webb again. Jonathan Davis. Hamish Watson tries to strip. Watson does well to get out of the way, not give away the penalty. Evans again. Moriarty. Scott Williams.
Stay 4.
Has a little look, feeds Luke Charteris, who knocks on, another knock on. A scrum advantage being played to Scotland. Russell with the clearing kick. Referee says not much of an advantage.
Well, I think for Scotland, you don't want the scrum. You want the...
I think the referee may be looking at something here, Martin.
Rowan, what are we looking at?
Just looking at the actions of red 7.
Red 7?
Lifting blue 10.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a look at red 7. I don't need you anymore, thank you.
Tipperick on a clean out.
Justin Tipperick. His action on the side of the ruck, Martin, being looked at.
The crowd obviously jeered as they would, but it's whether Tipperick, in his action of cleaning out the Scottish players, lifted the legs above horizontally. You've got to be so careful these days. Obviously caught the corner of John Lacey's eye. There's Tipperick, obviously with the blue head cap. No, he's got to be careful. This is.
He's certainly lifted and twisted it. Finn Russell is not driven at the ground, he's landing his back. I think he is above the horizontal, probably looking at a yellow card.
You just got to be so careful these days. Once you lift that leg, you know, I think players are starting to buy it a little bit as well, you know, and go with the momentum, but it's, you know, it dicing with danger as soon as you lift that leg.
Just going to give a penalty, just a penalty against red 7 for lifting.
Just a penalty.
I think because Justin Tipperick almost knows what he was doing. He tried to save the situation after it started. There was no malice. He never drove him into the field, but the penalty only. We've seen more given for that man, but I think Tipperick did try and save the situation.
He realised, didn't he? Yeah.
Scotland gain some relief. They had a knock-on advantage. Wales spilling the ball again. There's plenty of pressure from Wales. Plenty of changes now as Jamie Roberts comes on into midfield. Taulupe Faletau comes on. Scott Williams goes off. Ross Moriarty goes off.
Yeah, another big game for Moriarty. Perhaps not as eye-catching as last week, but done a lot of graft. And Scott Williams had a great game in the centre as well, but stacks of experience to come off the bench in Jamie Roberts and Faletau.
Richie Gray wins the line-out.
Over. That's one stop, 9. Out now. Out.
Scotland edge their way forward. They haven't enjoyed possession for quite a while now. They're on the march now. Wales, though.
One thing you don't try and do when Luke Charteris on the pitch is drive them all, because the man is sensational. He's said before, he's like Inspector Gadget. He gets that big frame over and just kills it straight away.
There he is. Luke Charteris, he's huge, and he uses those arms to go where shorter arms can't.
Time off, please, Graham.
Right, now then, it's very tense. Is it for you, Jason?
Just where we're seeing the game being played in the second half. From where I'm sitting just down here, just in the level on the halfway, Wales are playing all of the game in the Scottish half, and we just need to find a way from the Scottish point of view. How do we get back down that end and bring back into play our big strike players? Stuart Hall getting on the ball. The back row in the second row are working their socks off. We just saw the subs just coming on for Wales. Jamie Roberts, Faletau. It's just been a really strong bench to come on for this last 18 or so minutes.
We had that amazing statistic at the start of the second half where Scotland had 99% of territory possession, but that's turned now. Taulupe Faletau, he came on against England. He's been struggling with a knee injury, well, all season really, but he is a magnificent player when he's fit and doing well. Scotland are awarded the penalty at the scrum, and given what happened at the last scrum, Wales will, well, they'll be very disappointed with that.
Disappointed, I think, is putting it mildly. Eddie, they'll be really frustrated. You know, total dominance in the last scrum, and John Lacey, well, you can't say at least he's made a decision. You know, we haven't had to go through 3 or 4 collapse scrum, but that's a big decision from John Lacey there when Wales seem to be on top in the scrum.
10 penalties apiece. Scotland in the Welsh half at last. Fraser Brown. Not many front row forwards who make it into the last quarter, but here is Scotland's hooker. And finding John Barclay, his captain. There's Luke Charteris again. Busy at work in the maul.
Those arms.
He's got hold of Hamish Watson, but Scotland come through the midfield. Russell. Long from Jones to Visser. Visser goes past George North. Can't go past Lee Halfpenny, but Scotland move into the Welsh 22. Richie Gray. Ferguson. Hamish Watson feeds Johnny Gray. Gray stops, takes stock of the situation. Tries to set it up. Still in. Henry Purgos is told to hurry up.
I think Finn Russell's line up for a drop goal here.
Finn Russell behind Henry Purgos. For the moment, though, through Hamish Watson, Scotland happy to take it further into Welsh territory. Pyrgos. John Barclay, the captain. Tipperick joins the tackle. Sam Warburton over the ball. Ordered to release. Scotland have it. It has been slowed up, though. Fraser Brown, the hooker.
Tackle's fine.
Still there on the Scottish side. Pyrgos to John Barclay. Russell, long to Hogg. Tim Visser. Scotland break out and the lead grows.
Well, as the crowd celebrate, Tim Visser smiles. That's a crucial score and a crucial time in the match to score. It is the first time Scotland had territory for a long time in the second half, and it was built through the phases, making ground in almost every carry. And then watch this for a pass from Stuart Hogg, quick as you can through the hands, pulls in George North, and Tim Visser just hugged that touchline all day. Watch this from the pass through the hands, and that strike man Tim Visser scores again.
Yeah, it's class from the pace of Finn Russell's ball to Hogg. Just holds the inside man for Wales, and then the class of Hogg to put Visser in. Visser started actually standing up George North and going on the outside. It looked as if Finn Russell was standing in the pocket to go for the 3 points, but a snipe from Pyrgos got him on the front foot, and it's great patience from the Scottish as well. Fully deserved try.
They started the second half with a real bang. Then they went into a long period of being stuck in their own 22, but they've broken out and scored again. Finn Russell with the conversion. It's good. Scotland 26, Wales 13.
Look from a different angle, a flat hard pass from Finn Russell to Stuart Hogg, who it's almost too quick for the camera, flips it on to Tim Visser. Now Tim Visser's hugged that left touchline all day. He's managed to get on the side, outside of George North, and he celebrates his comeback with a try.
Changes in the Welsh team. Scott Baldwin at hooker for Ken Owens. Sam Davis is on for Dan Biggar.
Use the nine.
Rebound. Everything is going Scotland's way. Stuart Hogg, the chance. Alex Dunbar, under pressure, gets the ball away.
Wouldn't be the most comfortable of kickers, Chris, would he? Alex Dunbar, by the looks of things.
That was a better strike, wasn't it? That was better than the last one.
Went the right direction.
It's exactly what you want. There's the pressure again, coming from Rhys Webb on every kick. Stuart Hogg has a look. Is it on? Is it? It isn't. And then Alex Dunbar manages to get away, does exactly what he needs to do to get it off the field.
Scott Baldwin finds Alan Wynne-Jones. Sam Davis, the new outside half. George North comes off his wing. Sam Davis inside to Scott Baldwin. Jonathan Davis. Prop, Samson Lee. Nicky Smith is on in the Welsh front row. Davis. The turnover is good, says John Lacey. Yet again, Wales have been turned over and Murrayfield erupts again.
Just so slow from Wales at the base. Gives Sam Davis no option, and fantastic work for Hamish Watson. Over the ball and wins the steal.
So busy, Hamish Watson, as a carrier, as a tackler, and then in around the breakdown as well. Ryan Wilson giving him a pat on the head. But the score as it is now means Wales have to play. They have to make a risk. As Her Royal Highness Princess Anne watches on next to Rob Flockart, the Scottish Rugby president. The crowd in Murrayfield in full voice as well. He's a turnover. Barclay with a tackle, and Watson, just as you see Tipperick and Warburton doing, well, he can do it as well.
Hamish Watson with the turnover. Fraser Brown's work is done. On comes Ross Ford. Cap number 105 for Ross Ford. And he finds Johnny Gray. Pyrgos. Liam Williams rises high and feeds Lee Halfpenny. Halfpenny down on one knee, gets away with it, comes away with it. Back to Rhys Webb now. Sam Davis, Jonathan Davis.
Onside, stay back foot.
Scott Baldwin, Luke Charteris outside him. Wales have to play, have to risk the passes now. That one doesn't go to hand, but Liam Williams comes away with it. Scotland with the penalty, another obstruction. John Barclay.
Yeah, it's a hard one to take for Liam Williams, who yet again has been outstanding in that red jersey. He's trying so hard to pick up the loose ball. He's trying to take on 2 or 3 Scotland defenders and then runs into his own man. A big decision here for Scotland. I think we'll go into the corner, but I'm wrong.
No points. 13 points ahead there, Sam Davis.
It's just Davis, and you can understand what Sam Davis is trying to do. They're trying to get back into the game, trying to keep the ball in play. Liam Williams has to pick up the loose ball, but Tipperick is just in the wrong place at the wrong time as the tackle comes in from Ryan Wilson.
I think the option to go for goal, it eats up the clock as well, doesn't it?
I think it's the right decision, you know, when you go back to Wales's opportunity, 19-13, if I can't remember what the score was, where Alan Wynne decided to go to the corner instead of going for the points, and you have to question that, you know, when you've got a goal kicker like Lee Halfpenny in your ranks.
Just curled it in. Superb kick. Not only is the clock run down, the scoreboard has gone up. Scotland 29, Wales 13.
Yeah, it's a brilliant kick. The smile to prove it as well. It's so hard in that East Stand touch, and who's talked about how blasted in the wind is, and he's nailed that right down the middle.
Johnny Gray comes away with the ball. Finn Russell.
Away now, 9.
Ross Ford, the new hooker. He loses out though. Justin Tipperick, long to the captain, Alan Wynne-Jones. Scott Baldwin to Jonathan Davis. Samson Lee. Nicky Smith in support, wearing 17. Alex Dunbar fighting for possession, down on the ground, wearing 12 for Scotland. Luke Charteris. Rhys Webb to Davis. Halfpenny. Jamie Roberts tries the quick pass. Intercepted, and again, George North this time. Tim Visser with the one, North with another.
Forward by
Nicky Smith plays scrum half. Scott Baldwin, short to Falatau. Tipperick, long, bouncing to Sam Davis. Davis thought he saw a little gap. It closed.
Ball's available, he can play.
Nicky Smith. Webb. In time-honoured fashion, Jamie Roberts crashes it up. Webb.
9. Leave it off 5.
On the 22. Tipperick to Samson Lee. Tipperick again. Smith. Falatau. Scotland's defence solid, good enough to win a penalty, and that says it all.
It's Hamish Watson again. There he is. Came onto the field after about 20 minutes for an injury to John Hart. He started the first two games in the championship, and he's been outstanding again. You can see the penalties, 23 penalties, 13 conceded from Wales. Coaching staff won't be happy with that. You want to try and keep it under 9, but it's that man Hamish Watson winning that penalty again.
Doubts over Finn Russell's place kicking? Well, they've been answered today, and it's been one of those afternoons, a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon if you're wearing blue.
I think they've been outstanding, Scotland, in the second half, haven't they? In particular, I think half-time going in, Wales seemed to have all the momentum. Physically, they were dominating Scotland, but they've been very clinical, Scotland. One chance, put Visser over, and they haven't looked back. The Wales have got, on the flip side, have gone really sloppy in the back end, last 20 minutes since the replacements.
And Scotland have kept Wales pointless in this second half. Not much wind, and Scotland in not much of a hurry to get to the line out. 4.5 minutes to go. John Barkley has been a real presence in the line out.
One stop sideways.
Pyrgos has to go in digging for the ball. Scotland can think of winding the game down.
Six away now.
Richie Gray, Johnny Gray.
Let him go, 5.
Here's one of the star performers, Hamish Watson.
Tackle.
Russell again. Liam Williams went for the interception. It's just a knock on, but it will be a Scotland put in and the clock runs.
Just a knock on. I know.
Tommy Seymour, try scorer. Right, the moment has come. Who is the man of the match?
Well, there's been a few candidates, Sam Morton, Justin Tibberick in the back row as always for Wales. Rhys Webb's had a massive game. Hamish Watson has made a huge impact off the bench. The Gray brothers in the second row, Ryan Wilson as well, but all these candidates. But the man in the picture has been our RBS man in the match, Finn Russell. 7 from 7 for all the grunt, for all the determination of the Scottish team. They need lead around the field, and under pressure, Finn Russell has delivered an outstanding match from the Scotland number 10.
Murrayfield is buzzing. Murrayfield is about to celebrate Scotland's second victory of the Six Nations. They beat Ireland here. And very shortly they will have beaten Wales. John Barkley, outstanding as the leader. Henry Pyrgos has to use it. He won't be going far. Finn Russell, man of the match. Tackled by Sam Davis. Wales have a chance. They have 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Warren Gatland, Lions coach, sort of Wales' coach on sabbatical. It's a difficult day unless you're looking for players to fill the Lions slots.
Yeah, I think a result like this really does throw up selection in the air. You know, you mentioned somebody like John Barkley, who nobody really mentions when it comes to Lions selection, but he's been absolutely outstanding today. Hamish Watson, you know, all the flankers, in fairness, you know, whether they're in a red jersey or blue jersey, have been outstanding. But somebody like Finn Russell as well, you know, he stuck his hand up again. It's really interesting, you know, with the Lions hat on. But full credit to Scotland, they really deserve this. Really composed second half. They came under pressure, but they withstood that, and they've gone at the other end and been incredibly clinical.
Scored at important times, didn't they? That penalty just before half-time to make it 39, and then the try after 43 minutes early in the second half. Important time in the game to score.
Wales have well, stopped scoring. 15 against England, 13 today. Jonathan Davis comes away with it. It's way below their average over the past few seasons in the Six Nations. They have a chance to improve their average. They're not going to win the game, but here they come looking for a second try. Webb to Liam Williams. Scotland over the ball again, win yet another penalty. We're into overtime. Scotland sink to their knees, but they won't be down there for long. It's been a wonderful day of rugby at the home of a game in Scotland. Smiles all round, one boot into touch and the job is done. John Lacey blows his whistle. Scotland, 2 out of 3, still in the hunt. Vern Cotter, happy man, heads down to greet his players. Scotland have comprehensively beaten Wales by 29 points to 13.
What a performance from Scotland. It was met with a lot of physicality from Wales, but John Barkley leading for the first time as captain led his side so fantastically. Another physical game. 2 tries to 1 for Scotland, and a terrific performance.
Yeah, all credit to Scotland. You think of the players who were missing as well, the injuries. A lot of people thinking that would be the difference today, but the guys coming in stood up. Welsh point of view, you know, first half you couldn't ask for anything more. Second half really disappointed. Failed to capitalise on the possession, the territory, and defensively a few lapses and it's game over. So uphill with Ireland round the corner and France, real difficult end for the Six Nations for Wales.
Oh, it's a sweet game when your country plays this well.